Good evening. Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm about to give a really unpopular opinion, and I'm sure it's going to be especially unpopular amongst women.
I'm Gray Mars. Break a record by being with 100 men in one day. And right after she was done, she recorded a documentary.
I'm a vegan weed. Call yourself fresh and wear the same weak ass turtleneck on every show. Goddamn. Then we got goddamn the Sudanese Sambo. Bruh, man.
And I'm Enzo.
Bringing up in my lives is they're like, oh well, he's violating the Constitution by having a meme coin and him making money off it in office and everything like that. I was like, if that was the case, like there would be lawsuits up the ass and impeachment in court.
I'm skeptic. Like I always say, don't let anybody trample on your constitutional rights.
I'm Mia.
Why is this shit?
That's not a correct power dynamic in my mind. Typically, the people that are trying to be removed are not in control. That's why they're easily being removed.
Yo, that was fire.
Yeah.
I like that, though. I like that.
The person that's dealt with some people in the industry, I can personally tell you, most of them are bullshit. Most of them got something going on and they're crazy, and they will have you. I'm talking about they'll have you crazy.
Yeah, you look professional, bro. You look real professional. In case, like Slim said, it's the beginning, man. We're gonna see more. It's gonna unfold, and
that mean I'm doing my job.
Hey. If we sit there and be old school, we gonna miss the boat. You know, a lot of this kids 19 years old buying houses with Bitcoin, buying Maserati.
Wow.
Several No Kings protests planned across the country on Saturday as well. What are your thoughts on those?
What are they going? No King?
No Kings.
I don't feel like a king. I have to go through hell to get stuff approved. A king would say, I'm not going to get this. A king would have never had the California mandate to even be talking to him. He wouldn't have to call up Mike Johnson and Thune and say, fellas, you got to pull this off, and after years we get it done. No, we're not a king. We're not a king at all. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Enzo.
I'm skeptic.
I'm Kamal.
I'm a little bit Alexis.
Kelly Corinne.
And we have the beautiful Kelly Corinne from the Don't Piss Me Off morning show. Kelly, let everybody know about your morning show, when it airs, and where they can find it at.
Thank you, Nora. And thank you for having me and the panel as well. We film every day, Monday through Thursday, 11 Central Standard Time, 12 noon 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And it's with me, Black_TV, and Talks with 2K. This is not your grandmother's morning show. We have a lot of fun there. It's not really political. We just kind of talk about just current events, and it is really hilarious. And, I hope you guys can check it out. And I also have my own channel here on YouTube as well. It's Kelly Corinne Show. Every Tuesday evening, I do a show. I host a panel show similar to the new party. It's called State of Affairs, and we cover a wide margin of topics, and we bring in folks from, all across the spectrum. I've had the new party as guests, Enzo, Nora, and Kamal. Kamal actually is going to be on next week, and we have a show called Diaspora Dialogues, Foundational Black Americans versus Caribbean Americans versus actual African Americans, the ones from Africa. And we're going to try to see if we can find some common ground. So again, thank you for having me. And that will be Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, so definitely go and check that out. And before we start, We gotta pay some bills. Put the disclaimer on. So here we go.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
All right, and we have King Jay here. What's up, Jay? How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. We get to meet. I'm Nora. Nice to meet you. So tonight we are going to talk about all the protests around the country because I predict that June 14th will be the left and the Democrats, January 6th. And we'll get into it tonight because we got to talk about what got everybody so riled up in this country. I'm sure y'all going to tell us on the left, and on the right, we're going to tell you how we feel about it as well. It'll be a nice, respectful conversation. Remember, we are a panel style show. We do not do debates here. So Skeptic knows that. Jay, I know it's your first time. Alexis, I know it's your first time. So we're about respectful conversation, and we're going to keep it that way. So before we get into that, though, very, very traumatic thing happened today. Plane crash in India. So let's watch this clip real quick and then we'll talk about it.
To follow multiple major stories for you this morning, beginning with a plane crash in India from just a few hours ago. And we've got to give you a warning here. What you're about to see is disturbing. This video just came into our newsroom, and our CBS News confirmed team has verified that it is real. You're seeing the aircraft there. Within 1 minute of departing and taking off, it descends behind a building, and then a huge fireball comes out of the wreckage. India's top health officials are saying many were killed. CBS News foreign correspondent Remy Inocencio is following this story from our London bureau. It's horrific to see that, Remy. I'm thinking of the relatives who are in London waiting for their loved ones, seeing that footage. What do we know about this crash?
Yes, Errol, absolutely disastrous, anxiety-inducing images that are now still coming out from India. That plane was an Air India passenger flight flying a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. There were more than 240 passengers and crew on board, and we just saw its last seconds in the air. You could see it losing altitude. The airplane tracking site, Flight Radar, said that that plane lost its signal less than a minute after takeoff. That was at an altitude of about 625 feet. And then we see there on the screen again that massive, massive fireball. Now, this is in India's western city of Ahmedabad. The flight was on its way here to the UK, specifically to London's Gatwick Airport. And having just taken off, that of course means the plane was loaded up with fuel. This was for a 4,000-mile flight for more than 9 hours. And Air India says, has come out with a passenger manifest. Most of the people on board were Indians, 169. There were also more than 50 British, 7 Portuguese, and 1 Canadian national. And the plane appeared to have crashed into what seemed to be apartment blocks. In some social media video, we saw laundry hanging from some balconies, and the tail, or at least a portion of the tail, resting on the top of what we have also verified as a hospital. So more information still coming out, and we'll...
Okay, guys. So yeah, it was a bit much. It was a bit crazy. There was luckily one lone survivor. He was in lucky seat number 11A. Enzo, what's your thoughts on the plane crash?
Well, first and foremost, my condolences to all the people that lost loved ones in the crash. It's absolutely terrible. I just really think back to everything that's been going on with Boeing over the last couple of years. You had the 777s where they had to ground them for about a year because of the technical issues they were having. The Alaskan Airlines plane that the door just flew off of. I think this is completely just quality control from Boeing, which is one of the biggest airline manufacturers in the world at this point. Or it could be that, or it could be a combination of just poor negligence on the airframe from Air India. But to the bigger picture, I'm going to look at it and say this was the fault of Boeing, and I wouldn't say it's pilot error or anything like that.
Facts. Skeptic, what's your thoughts? Why the plane crash? What you hearing about it?
Actually, my brother works for Boeing. Actually, so he actually works on like making like parts for the aircraft, and he has explained to me how detailed oriented it is. Like they actually have to go through like a process where not only does a computer verify that the part is accurate, but it can go down to like the minuscule details. So I don't really know why like what caused the crash, per se, but my condolences for all the families. I feel like with everything that's going on, I feel like this is a sad thing to happen for people to be losing a family. My parents travel a lot, so anytime I see airplanes, like I hate airplanes. I don't like to travel via airplanes. I will do anything before I have to get on an airplane, and I have bad anxiety about it, and these type of stories don't help. But
For real.
yeah, like here recently, I feel like there's been a lot of issues with airplanes. So yeah, I mean, keep your prayers up and try to stay on land as much as you can.
For real. Shouts out to Red Cup Talks with Mika. Thank you, Mika, for the super chats. The latest one that she put said, I think it's fishy that plane crash. Kelly, I mean, this happened in India. I know people have been blaming Trump and the Trump administration. What are your thoughts? Is there any connection to the plane crashes? You're muted, Kel. It's okay.
Sorry, girl. Okay, so I was looking something up. I don't know what's going on with these planes, y'all. I don't know what's going on with these planes. I'm with Mika. I'm with my girl Mika. It is fishy, and I'm not. You know me, Nora. I'm not trying to take over, but I have to send you something, and it's very relevant. And I follow this man on TikTok, and he spoke on this very thing before this happened. Shout out to Nico Mitchell. So check your text.
Yeah.
Check your text. Nels, I don't know if you have a MacBook, if you could pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. But he spoke
I
about
have to email it myself.
He spoke about stuff happening in the skies. You know what? I think I can pull it up on Instagram.
You should
I
be
can
able
pull it
to
up.
on your end because I don't have Instagram, so you'll have to do it.
No
if you
worries.
put it on the screen, I'll share it.
No worries. Yeah, I'm about to pull it up right now because I'm not going to be too conspiracy theory because I know this is your show, girl. But he spoke on this. Okay.
All right, I see it now. Hold on, let me share it.
Not seen anything yet.
Okay, let me see. I was a little too quick on the gun. All right, I'm gonna hit it.
The riots that are happening in LA are the tip of the iceberg. We have not seen anything yet, and I need to really get a grip on the knowledge that I'm giving over to you. Various children of God released a prophetic message months ago, and maybe you heard of it, about this upcoming summer being unprecedented, that things will happen that people are not going to expect, and I'm here to give you an outline of that. Now, there will be various other situations that happen across the country in other cities that will entail rioting, National Guard being deployed, Marines being sent in, because there is a similarity in ideology amongst people in regards to the Trump administration's immigration policy. So that's almost a given. However, there will be other events that are outside of the immigration stuff that will be violent, that will be cataclysmic, and there will be celestial events as well over the summertime, in particular, the month of June. God speaks in the book of Luke about the signs in the sky, about the sun, the moon, the stars. It will serve as a foreboding to the coming of the Son of Man, Jesus Christ, Yeshua. So, Really, this serves as a message to get your houses in order. There also will be spiritual shifts that take place that the children of God are not ready for. This is not to fearmonger or bring about anything that is not of the nature of God, but to bring about an understanding that is firm in his prophecies to come. In Jesus' name, Yeshua. Amen.
They've been talking about the skies, y'all. I'm just saying.
When was that video made?
Let's see when he made that. He made that video 3 days ago. When was the plane crash? Today, right?
Today.
That's what.
Yeah.
Crazy work. It's definitely something going on with these planes. I mean, it's just. Do y'all remember so many plane crashes before this year? Because I don't.
No, me neither. And we used
Yeah.
to fly a lot. Like, it's put a pause on us traveling. Like, I am now iffy. And I hated having to drive more than 5 hours, but now I'm willing to drive as much as I can before I got to jump on a plane.
Girl, I'm with you. Okay, Nora's indisposed right now, so we're gonna move right along. Okay, again, thank you to Red Cup Talks in the chat, y'all. Check out Red Cup Talks with Mika. She went live. She gives really good political commentary. Okay, so what's the truth about the No Kings protest? All right, because she did send me some of the stuff today about this protest, and Nora and I have been. Nora and I have been talking about this earlier today. So I've been seeing a lot of stuff, with these protests, or I don't know if you want to call it a riot or a protest. I'm gonna have to say it seems awfully rioty to me. I mean, they're looting in the stores and carrying on. What do you guys think?
100%.
I think
It seems like a riot.
the No King protests are going to happen Saturday, June the 14th, from what I understand, because I'll be attending one. So I want to say that they're still being organized as we speak.
Okay.
I think the protests that you're talking about are like the ones that are from communities protesting ICE, which I think are a little bit different. Because
That is what I'm talking about. Thank you, Skeptic. Yes.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between the two, but yeah.
That, you know what, because I had never even heard of this No Kings protest. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking, and Kamal probably gonna know what I'm talking about, Latin Kings. I said the Latin I said this is the Latin Kings out there cutting up. What is that? Because I never heard that. But I also, so earlier on the show, and I don't have control because I'm not. Let me see if I can do this. I saw something, y'all, and it was the Rolling 60s. Let me see if I can pull it up. It was the Rolling 60s. They were actually they were nicer than I would have been. Okay, so here it is. I don't know if this is gonna work because I'm not admin. Nope, she gotta do it. Dang. Well, anywho, I'm just going to talk about it. The Rolling 60s, they were, on their block. And I think it was some people. I don't know if they were actually rioting or if they were doing donuts, but they was cutting up. Okay, they was cutting up because people, they cutting up over in LA. And the Rolling 60s Crips, were very respectful, but they told them, hey, y'all got to go. Y'all got to get up on out of here. And I said, I like that, because if this is your block, this is your territory, sometimes with the Crips, they set trip. You got one set of Crips from one street, set trip against another set, the Bloods or whatever. They'll go at it over turf. So if an outsider comes in cutting up, get the community involved. Shouldn't always have to be the Marines. Shouldn't always have to be armed guards. And I don't think it should have to be. It wasn't violent. So the fact that it wasn't violent, I said shout out to them. But maybe I'm tripping. What do y'all think?
Yeah,
Where
I mean
Nora
that
at? I
was
got
one of the things that I had said to start off was that they have police that they train for this specific thing. I think that what people are misconstruing is that LA is a very large city. It's not like these smaller cities that we live in. And the protest was happening in one specific area. And it started off, being peaceful. And then you have the bad apples that get added on. That I think, we have been talking, the ones that are going to do the No King protest, that if that is to happen at any protest that we're on, we're going to put a stop to it. So we're not going to put up with anyone trying to be, vandalize any kind of property, because we're trying to keep, protests peaceful. I do think that it's beneficial for people to get violent, because then they can say, oh, look at them, they're violent. So it just kind of plays into their whole argument that they already want to say. But you're right. LA has had protests before that are greater when we talk about numbers. And they have been able to kind of keep them under control. So it was a little bit early for them to jump on and bring federal, soldiers and the National Guard in, being that at that point, I feel like it was kind of uncalled for. Also, the mayor said that they didn't want the National Guard to come in, and they also, the governor also said that they didn't want the National Guard to come in. So it was definitely overstepping governance for sure, I feel like.
But you know what? There definitely have been larger protests or riots, whatever you want to call it, before, folks were brought in. But I just think, with the current climate of things, I just can't be mad about somebody getting ahead of something. I get what you're saying, but I mean, when I saw that guy throwing them rocks and the smoke and all of that, I can't be mad at it. But I hear what you're saying, Skeptic. Nora, I put the, if you wanted to show it. If you don't want to, it's okay. I couldn't do it, girl.
And then yeah. Oh, my bad. I'm gonna share it now.
Oh, let me run it back.
Okay.
Take this shit somewhere else. All the six. I'm telling you. Take this shit somewhere else. Please. Take this shit somewhere else, please. Hey, bring that shit in. Take this shit somewhere else. Come on now, right now. Hurry up. Bring that shit in somewhere else. I'm gonna make them leave. OG. I'm gonna make them leave right now. Y'all had a great time. I love it. Y'all had a great time. Hey, y'all had a great time. All cameras down. All cameras down. All cameras down. Take it somewhere else, please. We on that. Y'all missed it on my spot.
It's all respect, it's all respect.
You know what? The more I'm watching this, I don't know. The ex-user Black Alpha Network.
Yeah, shout out to Black Alpha Network.
I know, I follow him. He's it says rolling 60s Crips check a whole crew of Mexican looters in LA. But I don't know. But it's okay. I don't know. Kamal, do you think it was looters? I don't know.
I don't know if they was looters or not, but they for damn sure wasn't protesting when bro was out there.
Off the block.
You basically tell them, man, go destroy your own shit. Don't come over here destroying our shit.
I did notice that handshake blitz. I wouldn't have did it, but I'm me.
Well,
my buddy.
I got a couple questions for y'all though. In the chat, is Walmart really funding the No Kings protest? Is that fucking true?
I heard that.
Yes, not Walmart. To be clear, it's the heiress of Walmart who's giving money towards it. To clarify, it's not Walmart per se, but she is an heiress because of Walmart money. But I want to play this clip from Sunny Hostin. For me, the denial is real, and then we can talk about it. Here we go.
People that live in LA, that work in LA, and they said that these protests were very, very orderly. They weren't violent, and they occurred in about a 4-block radius. Mm-hmm. And we all.
pigs. Fucking coward pigs. Fucking coward pigs. God.
And this is not just a good gesture, this is something we need to make real. We need to bring down this empire once and for all. All right. Burn it down! Burn it down! Burn it down! Burn it down! Make it great like 92! Patreon afraid of you! Patreon afraid of you! Make it great like 92! Make it great like 92! Patreon afraid of you!
Two of them motherfuckers. God.
So, anyways, the point of that clip, I wanted to show everyone so we can all say we haven't seen it. The looting, the burning of the flags, the spitting at the police, the throwing rocks, all of that, all happening. So we can't say it's not there. We can't say it's peaceful. I mean, Enzo, what's your...
I have so much I could say. Where do I start with this? I think it's absolutely fucking disgusting. And I think it's even more disgusting that on the left they want to deny that this is all going on when we all seen what's really going on there. Yeah, there probably is peaceful protesting that happened. Don't get me wrong, there probably is. But when it turns into this is fucking disgusting. Sorry to say it. It's like I'm watching video footage from from Sinaloa, Mexico. That's what I'm looking at. Spitting on the American flag, raising up fucking Mexican flags in LA. I don't give a shit that LA or California was a part of Mexico at one point. We're in America now. For you to do that, you should be deported. I don't give a shit if you're an American citizen or not. You should be deported at that point. And I'm going to say that with my full chest, and I will double down on that every single which way to Sunday. Anybody who burns an American flag and is raiding up another foreign flag, get the fuck out of our country. 100%, I stand by that. This is disgusting what they're doing there. I'm happy as shit Donald Trump put the Marines and the National Guard in there. This needed to be done. To see an entire city just sit back and let this ruin and looting and rioting and stomping on the American flag because you're pissed off with this administration is disgusting. If you want to protest the government, you want to protest the administration, go burn the seal of the president. Don't burn the American flag, which the fucking soldiers who died to give you that right to protest the government, don't burn their flag. That's who that represents. So, I mean, that's it. Before I keep going.
Kamal, as someone that lives in California, what's your thoughts?
Well, like I told y'all on Monday, in Dago, they ain't protesting shit. They out here chilling. I told you they over here barbecuing and all types of shit over here in San Diego. It's in LA. It's like in downtown LA. But I'm just like, what I was surprised was seeing so many cop cars destroyed and not one motherfucker was shot. Damn, I remember when we was protesting. God damn. We getting Billy Club. They sending rock rollers on us, all types of shit. And then this person in the chat, it's kind of funny you said that. India Thomas, she said some of this shit is AI.
That's wild work.
What?
Oh my goodness. But yeah,
boy, no way, boy.
That's wild work.
Boy, no way.
Sorry.
But I just don't get, like, they're fighting for illegal immigrants, not immigrants. Illegal. Like, and they burning the flag and shit. I don't know, man. Why they waste their money, man? They bought 2 flags to burn them motherfuckers. It's a waste of money, in my opinion. Goddamn, you could have spent that money. You feel me? Get that ticket back to the great goddamn country of Mexico. There's some beautiful spots in Mexico. You feel me? That y'all could be in. Damn, y'all want to be over here destroying shit over here.
Well, this is my thing, Kamal. Let's say I buy your house from you. Let's say I buy your house for $500,000. I'm living in this house for 20 years. Then you think you're going to sneak into my house. How did I steal my house? How did I steal the house from you if I gave you money for it? Because they always say, oh, Mexico, this is stolen land. Well, it's not stolen land. They ceded Mexico to the U.S. in the Treaty of, hold on. They
1848?
sold it for $15 million.
Yeah.
Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. Okay. So how is it stolen? It's not stolen land. They sold it just like every other, the Louisiana Purchase. Yeah, I remember stuff from elementary school. I'm gonna let y'all rock. I don't know. I'm with y'all. It's crazy.
King, I want to bring in someone from the left here. What's your thoughts on everything you're hearing? Is it our lying eyes? Is it AI? Like, what are we seeing here?
So I want to say this really quickly. When we talk about the purchasing of Texas and all of those parts, we conquered it, took it, and then later on we paid for it. So it was stolen and then paid for afterwards. So just wanted to give some clarification on that. And then second, so far as I see with the protest, I see it as people are upset about what's going on. I just find it really hypocritical that the right talks about sending in the guard, but you did not want to send the guard in when we literally had people storming the Capitol and threatening sitting politicians from certifying a rifle election. I find that is the definition of an insurrection, trying to overthrow the government. That's what they were doing when they were calling for the unalivement of politicians and going into the buildings looking for these people to do it.
So, well, King, they're doing these protests and they're getting aggressive in front of a federal building at the ICE facility. Is that not the same thing, or is it different, or is it okay because we're fighting for people? So, what's the difference?
Well, hold on, Nora. I got to push back on King. King, they did want to send in. It was Nancy Pelosi that rejected the National Guard. And if I'm not, actually, I know because I remember this because I'm not far from Washington, D.C. I also know that the mayor of Washington, D.C., Muriel Bowser, did take, I want to say 100,000 soldiers, 100,000 with the January,
Out of reserve,
we stayed with the January 6th. So, I mean, Nancy Pelosi, Trump did not have authority to straight up send in folks for January 6th. Pelosi rejected that.
So I want to push back on that, if you don't mind, just for a quick second. We go to the Constitution. The Constitution makes the president the commander in chief. He is the sole decision maker when we talk about military. If we talk about the National Guard is under regular operations, operates under its governor. In that situation, so far as when we talk about the states that were surrounding, and I can tell you this for a fact, Virginia and Maryland had National Guard troops stationed on specific bases. I know for Virginia National Guard, there were soldiers sitting there for 2 days at Fort Pickett waiting to get authority from the president to go into DC. See, when we talk about the Army and we talk about the military, the only person that has the authority to command the military is the president. The Speaker of the House has no authority over that. So if the president was being advised, which we know he was advised that things were going to get bad, he still refused to authorize these National Guard units to come into DC because they can't just ride up there willy-nilly. The mayor of DC does not have authority over the DC National Guard. The only person that has authority over DC National Guard is the president of the United States. point blank, period. It's no other person that they answer to.
So,
And then my
Alexis, you're on the right. I want to ask you this: did you support
It's
what
not in
happened on
DC though.
January 6th? Yes or no? And also, would you have opposed the military going in for what happened at the Capitol that day?
So opposing the military going into for on January 6th, no, I don't oppose that. However, I do know that Trump did request for there to be more security presence there. They were turned away. They said that they already had enough. I think it was, I don't recall exactly who turned them away. It wasn't Donald Trump though. That being said, January 6th, I believe everyone has the right to protest. Everyone absolutely has the right to protest. I live in LA. So anyone who's talking about that, like National Guard not being necessary, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how many of you think that it's fake. It's not fake. It's happening. People's property, people's daily lives are being, obstructed in the sense to where it's like, people don't want to go anywhere. I had to take my grandparents to a doctor's appointment. Like, they're not the same thing, because not just that, but peaceful protesting is one thing. The moment that it turns violent and it becomes a riot, that's what it is now. It is now a riot. It is now insanity. It is now no longer peaceful, regardless of how it started. That's not what it is now. So it needs to be addressed accordingly. January 6th, they addressed it accordingly. They got it over within a day. This has been going on for what, 5 days now? This is ridiculous.
Skeptic, what's your thoughts? We said a whole lot. I'm sure you want to respond to.
Yeah, so I do want to begin by saying I think it's funny when people are like, why are they waving Mexican flags around? We see all countries wave their flags around. Not only do we see them wave their flags around, we name certain parts of cities Little Italy. We name certain parts of city, Little Tokyo, and little literal other countries. So I think
And I
that,
always hated it, Skeptic. I'm always consistent. Go
and
ahead.
I have
Sorry.
no problem with it. I have no problem with Little Italy. I've been to Italy. I've been to different places, and when I get to go into a place and I see their culture, it doesn't bother me. I don't dislike different cultures. So I think it's interesting to me that everyone gets up in arms about it. Also, I don't necessarily agree with the burning of the flag. I have respect for the flag, but July 4th is about to come around, and we're going to see a bunch of women in flag bikinis and men with flag shorts sitting on them and getting drunk, and like it's funny that everyone has the different standard for different people, but we don't keep the logical consistency. Like, we're so inconsistent when it comes to people in different groups that we disagree with. So that's a funny thing to me that I have noticed. And I also want to say that the city of Los Angeles has a riot police. And the LA riot police was not sent out to the protest. So I think that if you believe in state rights, and if you believe that the federal government should be smaller and they shouldn't obstruct on state rights, you should be advocating for the state of California to do the things that they need to do and govern their city appropriately. I think it's very, again, hypocritical to me that people argue pro to state rights when it comes to different things. I mean, our country almost divided itself over it, but now all of a sudden we're for the federal government, the federal government overstepping their boundaries, and contrary to the governor of California saying, "Don't come to my state." The mayor saying, "We don't need you. We have riot police here." We send, soldiers in and basically overstepped our power. So I think there's multiple things that are simultaneously going on at the same time. I also want to say that the Pride Parade was going on at the same time that these protests were going on. They
Oh,
were going on
heavens
at the
to
same
Betsy, not
time.
the Pride Parade. I'm not
So
making
I,
fun of you.
so
I'm
I
not
just
making
am
fun
Who
of
like,
cares about that?
I just feel like it's, to me, I do think that they are politicizing something that could have been handled differently, is all I'm saying. Were there people that were, violating people's private property? Yes, and I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the violence. Those cars that you saw that were set on fire were self-driving cars. If you see the top of those cars, there's somebody ordered them to this area. So I do think there, like the mayor was saying, there is some different things going on here, and I do think that buttons are being pushed and people are fed up with it. People are unhappy with this government. People are unhappy with this president. This president said today that their ICE policies may be a little bit too strong because now the farmers don't have workers. I mean, we have a DEI hire in the office as a president. And this is what happens. Chaos is what happens
So,
after that.
guys,
And
we
I must
actually
say,
do
I
have
do think
great.
buttons are being pushed. I do think buttons are being pushed, but not in the way you saying it. I think there is a larger plan at play here. I think it's, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but I don't think this is just an organic thing solely. So I'm with you there. I definitely, I think there's some moving parts that we don't know.
Nora.
Can I just?
One second. Nora was gonna say something.
She's been
Nora,
having
do you want to say it?
she been having some
All right.
because she been having some stuff.
Well,
So you
Mia
go.
just texted in the chat. Breaking news:
Yeah,
Israeli
guys, we have
airstrikes
breaking.
Iran.
Right, I'm trying to interrupt. I'm not trying to be rude though. But breaking news: Iran has officially been bombed by Israel. There is word that we're waiting to see what Israel's going to do next. So again, I think this is a distraction, y'all, because Trump also ordered all of the people to get out of the Middle East. That snuck under the rug. So something big is coming. Unfortunately, I don't know if this is start World War III. Kind of disappointing for me because the whole reason why I personally voted for Trump is I didn't want to go into World War III, and here we are. We're potentially going to go into it. So that was the breaking news that Enzo's talking about. I have a clip too of the bombing.
So who bombed who? I didn't hear that. Correctly.
Israel.
Israel bombed
Drogonot
Iran.
said it. Yeah, Israel bombed the Iran's nuclear
Fuck, do they
site.
got to be doing this stupid shit?
Drogonot put it in the chat as well. They're nuclear sites.
Right, the nuclear sites. But Israel also has their alarms going because they're concerned about the retaliation.
Yeah, they gonna get a foot up their ass.
Look, not like how I say this illegal immigrant stuff, not my fight as a Black American. First of all, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Trump ain't doing enough for me, okay? Because it's still these friggin' illegals every time I go to the daggone CVS holding up the daggone line. So gets the stepping. Hurry it up, Trump. Hurry it up, Tom Homan. Okay, you
I agree
got
with
a
100%.
crown to come for. Obama, Barry Soetoro deported 5 million. You better get rid of 6. Okay, that's my thought on that. But moving right along, not my fight with that stuff. This stuff going on across the world. That ain't our fight. Okay, I ain't gonna get too much into that. But they can handle their own business. Israel.
Well, I will say this: the way America is structured, so far as when we talk about foreign policy, we're gonna get pulled into it.
We are.
And see, this is the thing that I get so upset about the right. We have set up this global chain where everybody depends on us. You can't just suddenly withdraw yourself, because when you create a vacuum like that and don't prop it up properly, you're gonna get yourself sucked back into the problems. We should have the problems that we're causing overseas. A lot of is absolutely ridiculous, because if you look at it, America was holding a lot of these countries back, like Iran and Israel. We were the chains. We were keeping these countries separated. And now that we have all this rhetoric and Trump not actually being a good commander in chief and a good president and putting things where they need to be at, is causing more problems. So we're gonna get sucked into this. I can't tell you when.
No, I disagree with you.
Yeah,
I
I got a
think
question.
Biden wasn't a good commander in chief. He should have held Israel and to the fire and said, "Hey, knock it off of Gaza, slow your roll." But that didn't happen. So now Trump inherited this problem.
So what was Trump really supposed to do with the whole Israeli-Palestinian conflict? Are you on the side of the Palestinians or are you on the side of the Israelis?
I'm on the side of all people. I don't think there should be
Of
any
all people,
ethnic
okay.
cleansing going on. I don't agree with
You
turning.
can't play both sides, King.
I don't agree with turning Palestine, the Gaza Strip, into a strip mall, a golf course. I don't
Oh
agree
my
with that.
God! Are you stop feeding into the
That's like a
bullshit, dude?
conspiracy.
When hold on, when
Say
he
that or
said that the
we
United
say
States was going to go over there, he said with a coalition of nations to rebuild it. It's not like he's going to open a fucking Walmart, a golf course, a resort, and a fucking McDonald's over there. Like, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like, it's so stupid. I'm sorry.
I don't want us rebuilding it, Enzo.
It's not
Every
stupid
time we
when
No,
go
Trump
I
over
agree
there,
with you. I
never
agree with
works
you. But
out.
when people on the left are saying, "Oh, he's going
did
turn
post
into a
that.
fucking resort.
Oh
Like
yeah,
this is
yeah.
He
the
did post
stupidest
that
shit
though.
ever.
But he
That,
did
but you
post
know what?
that.
I'm about to say, Trump. That's
He
what
Trump
he
said
said
needs
we're
to
Trump
going
do.
to
Get
Gaza.
buy
mad
Like
the
if
land. Hold
okay,
on
so
a second.
everybody
This is what. Hold on.
who has
Let me
2
say.
ears and 2 eyes,
Let me
open
repeat what
your
Trump
eyes
said.
and read into things instead of just listening to what somebody says.
So hold on a
That's
second.
the
Now
problem
we're
we have.
supposed to be able to translate what the president says and read the underlying message and not take his word verbatim like a normal
Yeah,
president.
that's what
That's
responsible people
wild.
do.
We're
Enzo,
supposed
they
to
can't take
That's what
a
translate what the
joke.
responsible
president
people do.
actually
Yeah.
means.
They can't take a joke, Enzo, and you know it, because there's gonna be bearded belly dancers over. You saw the video, Enzo. It's bearded belly dancers. That's what
Mhm.
they're gonna have over there.
Well,
What was it? A
He
20-foot
wasn't.
gold
God,
statue
it
with
was
I
so
don't
Trump.
think
fucking
He
stupid
wasn't
that he
joking
literally
though.
does this shit. Hold on, this is the problem with the left, right? He does this shit to piss you off on purpose because you're gullible in believing it's gonna happen. When are you
But
gonna open your eyes and realize
He's the
that?
president, though. He's
this
the
is the
president.
problem
He's
here,
Who
not a
man.
gives a
comic.
fuck? If
We
Biden did this, I would laugh my ass off and be like, he's not fucking serious. This is
I'm
stupid.
sure that the right would have taken a good joke from Joe
100% we
Biden. I'm
would.
very sure.
We
Hey,
know,
you said I was
you
in the
know what,
presidency for
skeptic?
4
It's
years. I
funny
say
you said that.
that's a
I
joke.
actually hated the meme. Me and Nora talked about it. I thought it
he
was kind of
cried.
demonic. I didn't like it. I'm not
I
even gonna hold.
cried.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
like. Yeah, it was gross to me. And I'm getting older. I don't take jokes well, but I knew he was trolling. You know what they say? He
Yeah.
do a little trolling. His little meme. But
Well,
I
I
thought
will
it wasn't
say
in poor taste.
he said we will take over, we will level the site, and then he said they were going to occupy it. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a good job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all the dangerous unexploded BBs and other weapons on site. Level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings. Level it out, he said. Create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. That's a really funny joke. I mean, he could be a
Yeah,
stand-up
now
comic with
look
that.
into all the
So
other
hilarious.
nations that are a part of that other than just the United States.
Number one, you said it was a joke, and then you said we have to read
Yeah,
inside
turning it
deeper
into
to what he's
Trump
saying.
Gaza was the joke.
Yeah,
When
in
he
the
put out the video of the gold fucking statue of him
Mhm.
and everything like
We
that, I
never
said this
said
is the
that.
stupidest thing ever.
I haven't
He
heard
never said
anyone
that.
bring up
You've never seen
like.
the AI video that Kelly and Nora know about because they were just talking about it.
No, I don't follow Trump like that. I just know what he said
Okay.
verbatim. I
It was
heard what
all
he
over
said
the
I'll show you
news.
the
with
AI
his
video.
words. That's what I'm going by his words that he said we're going to level out the Gaza Strip, and then we're
Yeah, they
going to
should.
make it
It's
an
a fucking
economic.
it's a rubble pile. What are you
Hold
supposed to
on,
do
I
with it?
have the
Just put
video.
a fucking mansion right on top of it and say have a good day? No, you got to clear it
I have
out.
the video. I have the video. I would like to show skeptics, and she's never seen it, and so our audience knows what we're talking about. This is the video.
Yeah, this stupid shit.
Donald's coming to set you free, bringing the light of the world to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump God is finally here. Trump God's a shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and death, the deal is done. Trump God's a number one. Trump God's a shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and death, the deal is done. Trump God's a number one.
Yeah,
And I
you
hate
guys
that
really
big-eared
think that's
bastard.
serious?
That daggone BB net and Shamaga Waga Laga. That big-eared bastard. I ain't like it, skeptic, and I'm far right. But I do think he was trolling.
Exactly.
I had to mute
You're
myself. That
muted,
was
skeptic.
hysterical.
Skeptic, you're muted. We can't hear you. Uh-oh. Oh, Lord. Well,
I hope it's Trump.
Can you hear me? Hold on.
did it. I'm just kidding.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay. I was never referring to that video. I was literally referring to Trump's own words. I was going off of his words. I don't.
Uh-oh, she keep going in and out.
It's
She
cut.
keep
Your mic
going in
cut.
and out.
But we knew
Maybe
that
the
because you had
batteries.
said that. You said because you read the statement.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, let's get back to our topic at hand. We're gonna play a couple more clips. And so now we're gonna talk about what Florida's saying they're gonna do if people protest here, and we can react to it.
Have a policy that if you're driving on one of those streets and a mob comes and surrounds your vehicle and threatens you, you have a right to flee for your safety. And so if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you. You don't have to sit there and just be a sitting duck and let the mob grab you out of your car and drag you through the streets. You have a right to defend yourself in Florida. And we also...
So I'm gonna break it down for you, all right? And if somebody wants to know what I mean by turn violent, all right, this is what I mean. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to stop. You're watching what's taking place out there. You're seeing police officers that are being attacked, being spit on, being put in harm's way just for doing their jobs. You're seeing ICE agents that are being targeted for doing their jobs. And you're seeing obstructionists that are doing all of this, standing in the way of law and order.
So my question is Florida taking it too far? Do we agree? Do we disagree? I'm going to let somebody on the left go first. King, what's your thoughts? Is Florida taking it too far for you?
Florida is a disaster of a state. Yes, they're taking it. They're a disaster. Everything they do is terrible. That governor is absolutely terrible for them. But you know what? I love it for them. If that's what they like, then I'll never be in Florida.
Yeah, we love it. He won by 17 points, and I proudly voted for Ron DeSantis. So we love it. I mean, we love peacefulness. We don't have people shutting down our highways. A little bit. Alexis, what's your thoughts? Sorry, love, because I see a little bit threw me off.
I don't think Florida's taking it too far. I think Florida is literally telling you the way that it should be. And the way that I mean, let's be honest, like when you're given lawful orders, they're lawful orders. I don't care whether you like it or not. Like that's not how it goes, right? So my whole thing is that I have an issue with the fact that people think or they deem that it's acceptable to do those things without consequence. Since when is it ever okay to invade someone's personal space, to destroy someone else's property, to especially towards law enforcement? These people, they are just like me and you. They have a job. They're being told what to do, what to accomplish their job. And then people are literally like, they run the risk of being unalive simply for trying to carry out orders that they're given. That is ridiculous. And people need to stop not treating them like they're human beings and start treating them like human beings who have slightly more authority than you to carry out orders to keep the peace in your area.
Kamal, what's your thoughts?
First of all, I'm apolitical. Look, I'm for my foundational Black Americans, and I'm gonna do what I've been doing this whole goddamn show. I'm staying the hell out of it, just like my foundation is doing with these protesters. I'm so proud of y'all. Yeah, and amazing Lovecraft, you've been talking my language, bruh. You feel me? Goddamn reparations, tangibles. If you ain't talk about that shit, I don't give a rat's ass about it. And also, you feel me? I do gotta say this. Ron DeSantis, man, that motherfucker. God damn. But yeah, that's my thoughts. You feel me? I wish I had some popcorn because I'm enjoying the show right now. Y'all going back and forth. God damn. Y'all arguing like a motherfucker. I need my popcorn. I got my drink. You feel me? This soda, y'all. This soda. This ain't liquor. All right. But yeah.
They ain't never really played in Florida.
Nope.
You know, so it's not.
Don't matter
I don't
who's in
know if
office
y'all
there.
watch. No, Enzo. I remember you saying on the episode you watched Skeet Hansen. They will go to Chris Hansen has a show, Takedown, and he's always catching PDF files. They usually go and pull. You know what I'm talking about?
I love that show. That shit. Yes. He he gets their pictures blown up like about the whole size of the TV screen. He's like,
That's what I was
this
about to
person
say.
right here.
They go down there, and it's a Sheriff Judd. I
Yep.
think that's Polk County. He don't play. I like him. One time he said, it was some criminal got unalived. A resident, a homeowner had unalived the criminal or something. King, you ain't gonna like it. Oh boy, Sheriff Judge said, oh, that's one less criminal on the streets. I said, yeah.
He does like
You can't find that.
post
You can't
arrest
find that quote.
interviews.
I loved it.
Like when he does the post arrest interviews with the people is funny as shit to me. They'll be like, "Yo, so this person got caught for armed robbery, yada yada yada. Do you have anything to say?" And the guy will be like, "Fuck you." I'll be like, "Oh well, they're going down to the Polk County Jail, so you'll catch them there." It's the
Look.
funniest thing ever to me.
Blitz says don't support Polk County Police. They getting them PDF files. They locking them up, so I support that. Oh, I support that all day.
They also bring awareness.
We all
to
can
the fact
agree
that
on
they're
that. What was that? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, that was my fault. They also bring awareness to the fact, like, if these people are reoffenders or if they're coming from different states, like, they also, like, it's important to touch on those facts because people like to think, like, oh, they're not, like, common everyday people like you and me. Like, they'll tell you, like, their background sometimes, like, you know, he had a wife, he has 2 kids, like, and he was trying to purchase, you know, sexual favors from someone who is under the age of 18. It's like, how can you, like, it's important for people to grasp, like, that, the level of, like, masking people do.
Girl, I said I don't even know why they play in Polk County. I'd go somewhere else, Broward County or something. I wouldn't mess around in Polk County.
Literally any other county.
Yeah.
Not that we endorse it at all.
Right.
I grew up in Florida. I love Florida. Florida is the best state. Yeah, I'm in Jersey now, but Florida is the best state, and it's crazy, right? Because Democrat states are known for best education, right? You know, Florida was ranked #1 in the nation for education.
Really? I didn't know that.
Last year, they were ranked #1.
You got to put some context on it, brother. They were #1 for higher education. So we're talking
No,
about
not for higher education. No. From K through 12. K through 12.
That is false.
No, we got Google. We can Google it. We got Google.
Yeah,
Because I will
looking
say
it up
this.
now 'cause I don't think that's right though. But wait,
I thought it was
we're
Massachusetts, wasn't it? Like,
it's New Jersey, and then #2 is Florida.
There you go. Look, I'm in a blue state. I'm in Maryland. Maryland is ranked high for public education, but here's the kicker: all the blue counties, they're underperforming. Like, so the red areas are the ones that kind of push the state of Maryland high up, but the blue areas, they're performing really bad.
So I just pulled it up right from U.S. News.
Yeah,
Florida was ranked #1 in education for 2024 by U.S. News and World Report, making it the second year in a row it earned this top spot. But so with that being said, I think the United States should absolutely follow exactly what Florida is doing with all of this altogether. Because you don't really got to worry about the police. You got to worry about the people down there. So you block in someone's car, the least you're going to get is ran over down there because everybody carries. So good luck with that. Good luck trying to have any of those protests and riots down there. And the cops know this, and they will literally just pick up people after that and do their investigations. Regardless if they're right or wrong, I agree with how this is being held there.
I will say this. I have found that as a majority, we're starting to lose some humanity as like people. We're starting to lose the ability to look at children because they're undocumented as children. Like, we're starting to lose some human like aspect of the world. And like I said earlier today, like I think there's something negative tied to this if we lose our humanity and to speak on people's lives as if it's so willy-nilly. Like, I wouldn't want anyone to lose their life. I don't care where you stand on the political spectrum. I would like for us all to stay alive. And I think that whether or not someone in the comments was saying they're bluffing and they've been protesting downtown and no one's been arrested and they're, you know, acting a fool, it doesn't really matter. I think just the fact that we are speaking this way, and, you know, I feel like it's almost like a sentiment from the whole country that we're sitting there. Like, I'm listening to like old women screaming. It almost reminds me of like, I think it opens my eyes to be able to see how things were able to happen here in America. Like during the civil rights movement, that people had so much hatred, and they have to not see you as human to be able to speak about you and not care what happens. Like, sure, people should come here legally. Sure, all these things should be followed, but at the same time, just don't lose your humanity to look at another person who's protesting. Let me tell you, the majority of people protesting are American citizens. There are no undocumented immigrants out there because they know that there is a probability that you will be arrested. And if you're arrested and you're undocumented, then you just worked against yourself. So these are American citizens that we're talking about that are out here. And I'm not saying that they should be violent, but at the same time, I wouldn't like advocate for anyone to lose their life or say, oh, well, like just run someone
Who's
over.
advocating
Well,
for
you
children to lose their
I'm not
lives?
advocating for anyone losing their lives at all. No.
I've never heard that.
Wait, Skeptic, you made the perfect pivot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if they get in your way, absolutely.
Skeptic,
I'll do
you
the same
bring
up
up
here.
a great
They
point.
block my
We
car
need
on
to
Saturday,
care
I will
about
run their
people's
ass over.
lives. Hold on, guys. We need to care about people's lives. So when you're done with your point, I'm going to play my next clip to show the point about why we need to care about people's lives. So when you're done.
You're good.
Okay. So you are absolutely right. We need to care about people's lives, and we need to care about all lives, and American lives, and undocumented people's lives. But let me play this clip, and we can talk about it.
Hold on, Nora. You know whose lives I care about? Those
Oh,
300K missing
we're gonna
kids.
talk about it.
I care about those. I care about those
And he's
lives.
currently in ISIS custody. And we also have this mugshot of his uncle. Authorities charge Rolvin Barrera with being an accessory to the crime. A spokesperson for the Charles County Sheriff's Office says the suspect was methodical in hiding this woman's body, burying her deep, and using old dirt to conceal the hole.
Upon discovering her body, which was wrapped in a blanket and again buried about 5 feet below the ground, it was a moment of relief for the detectives that they were able to tell her family, we have found her.
So when we first reported this, authorities told us that they found fraudulent immigration documents for Barrera Rosa and confirmed he was in the U.S.
An undocumented immigrant accused of killing a Cobb County mother is now indicted on new charges. This is a story we've been on top of all week. 21-year-old Hector Sagastum Rivas is now charged with malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault, rape, aggravated sexual battery, and necrophilia. He's accused of killing Camilla Williams and dumping her body in a Cobb County neighborhood.
Both charged with murder and robbery. Multiple sources tell ABC7 that both suspects are migrants and that they met the victim on a social media app. That victim, a 63-year-old George Levin, was found tied up in the basement of a home near Talcott and Olympia on Sunday. Our I-team has been digging into the background of these men charged and found that Bella Morales had just been arrested earlier this month. Court records show he was charged with a simple assault after attempting to lure a 13-year-old girl to his car. He has yet to enter a plea to that charge. Both suspects will make their first court appearance for the murder charge tomorrow. Bella Morales and Jefferson.
Antoine. New evidence is being made public in the Jocelyn Nungary case only here tonight on Fox. It's been almost a year since this brutal killing shook the nation. And our Fox 26 Abigail Dye has an exclusive interview tonight with the former district attorney Kim Ogg, who's sharing a shocking development.
So you're saying this isn't the first time that Pena has been accused of rape?
That's correct.
To just know that this happened to another woman, it hurts my heart. Really, a piece of me shatters a little bit.
June 2024, 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungary's body was found in a bayou on West Rankin Road. Two undocumented Venezuelan nationals, Johan Jose Martinez Rangel and Franklin Jose Peña Ramos, are charged with capital murder, accused of sexually assaulting, then killing Jocelyn. Kim Ogg was the Harris County District Attorney at the time. Her office gathered the evidence they needed to seek the death penalty in the case. And now she's revealing a key piece that helps secure that option.
What we learned during the course of the investigation was that one of the suspects, Pena, had been involved in a prior sexual assault.
She says a victim from another state was attacked while on vacation before Jocelyn's killing.
It happened in Costa Rica. It happened to an American citizen who came forward with that information after their pictures were shown on national television.
I'm very glad that this young woman had the courage to come forward.
That evidence specifically helped you make this determination for seeking death.
I believe it helped the entire committee make the determination.
Was this information that you had ever known, or is this new to you too?
This is definitely news to me. I always felt in my heart that this was never their first time, especially Pena.
Why are you sharing this now?
Because I am very concerned about the decisions that my successor district attorney has been making.
For County tonight, as we said, the prosecution has rested their case after 6 days of testimony. This in the trial of the man accused of killing Rachel Morin. Your Hartford County community reporter Ashley Paul has been on top of this story for us all week long. She has more on what we have learned from inside the courthouse today.
Video seen by the public for the first time today shows the first interview investigators had with suspect Victor Martinez Hernandez after he was arrested back in June of 2024. And it's likely the only time we'll hear directly from Martinez Hernandez before the jury decides his fate. Seen by the public for the first time, Victor Martinez Hernandez speaking to detectives after his arrest in Tulsa, Oklahoma, denying any involvement in Rachel Morin's murder.
We are here investigating the murder of a female.
Una muerte de una señora.
Guys, so Skeptic, you said you care about lives. I that's not even half of them. There was like
Nora,
7 or 8
can you
more.
add my screen? Hold on, Nora, because this is important. Can you add my screen, please?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I feel like
it
it's
was hold on,
propaganda.
Skeptic, because it was not a lot of black people, and me and Kamal got to represent for our community. So these are some of the black victims that were killed by illegal immigrants. You have little Ivory Smith here, 7-year-old girl that was unalived by a illegal immigrant drunk driver. This other young woman here, I can't think of her name. All 3 of them were, and then you have this beautiful woman, Chancy Dixon, who was unalived by an illegal immigrant Uber driver when she was leaving her place of work at night. Not only did he unalive her, but he raped her dead body. So I don't give a crap about any of these illegals. Like I said, Trump needs to get the step and hurry it up, because they not all. Well, actually, they all are criminals, but there's too much loss of life because of these people. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to shut up about it because it really grinds my gears. But what really bothers me is I think it's too much sympathy. I think it's too much friggin' sympathy, because I'm hearing people say, oh, Kim Kardashian, they should not be taking these people from graduations and this, that, and the third. If I break the law and I go to a graduation, they're going to arrest me. If Kamal or Enzo or anybody does anything, they're not going to sit around and wait and say, oh, man, Enzo has a family. We can't separate this family.
Or let's talk about the military families. Like the military, when you're serving the military, like my son's father just did 3-year deployment. They're away from their kids. So like people get away from their families all the time. I mean, it happens, like, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is what the media has done. They have used propaganda to spot out these cases in which this happened. But when we look at the overall statistics, and we have statistics for this, going by the population and the number of undocumented immigrants that we have, this is statistics that we have.
So it's okay. So because it's a small population, it's okay.
Because it's a small, minute amount.
I didn't interrupt either one of you guys whenever you guys were making your
It's
statement.
okay.
So the statistics say they're 57% less likely to commit a crime when they are undocumented immigrants. And I also think that we never highlight the violence that is also done onto immigrants, undocumented immigrants. There's a
They shouldn't be here.
There's a rancher.
They shouldn't be here.
So
They
that
shouldn't
makes
be
it
here.
okay
If
to
they
shoot
weren't
them.
here,
So
they
again,
wouldn't be
let me
getting
finish.
attacked.
Let me finish
They
real
wouldn't be
quick.
here. So
Let me
because
finish.
Americans commit crimes in their own country, it should be okay for us to
Okay, so can I make a
some
statement
criminals.
without being
Got it.
interrupted for a second?
No,
Because I didn't
go
interrupt
ahead. I'm
anyone
sorry.
else.
I shouldn't have interrupted you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So again, we don't talk about the violence that is done to undocumented immigrants. We had a mass shooter
That's
that
'cause
went
we
to
don't
El
care,
Paso. Okay,
Skeptic.
I'm about to.
Yes,
I have to
who
be able to
cares?
speak to make a statement. If I continue, if I continue to get interrupted, I'll never be able to make a statement. Again, so I have to start all over because I can't think. There was a mass shooter in El Paso who went to a Walmart and shot multiple Mexicans and said that he thought he was carrying out what Donald Trump wanted him to do. When we allow this propaganda to go on our media and tell everyone that they're just out here killing people in large numbers when we know statistically speaking this is inaccurate, then we start making it okay to use violence to unalive people, to kill immigrants because they're undocumented, and say, who cares? We're U.S. citizens, so are we allowed to shoot? There was a rancher that killed an illegal immigrant, literally shot him dead right there in front of him. When we continue to perpetuate this propaganda of not humanizing them and seeing them as humans, they should be deported. If you commit a crime, if you kill someone, there is the law for you to go through the law, for you to be arrested, and then whatever needs to happen to you. No one is saying, no one has stood here and said that we want undocumented immigrants to kill any Americans. But at the same time, here we are speaking on cases that, sure, they are important. Sure, these were lives that were taken, but we don't talk about the violence that has actually been committed towards immigrants. And then we try to use this as a way to dehumanize someone. That's what I'm saying. We are allowing
Skeptic,
this.
you're saying I don't care about Americans. One too many. There's multiple situations where you hear they should have been deported. They were picked up by ICE. They actually were deported and they found their way back in. I mean, you're not. So this is the problem I have. It's disingenuous. It's disrespectful, and it's harmful to Americans. And so to sit there and say, oh well, just like five. Here, it's just 5 little girls that get raped and murdered.
We have a justice system. We have a justice system here. And the justice system says if you commit a crime and you get caught for committing a crime, you have to be held liable for that. And you are supposed to be
why are they
arrested
not
and
being
held
caught
in
for that?
jail. If that is what's happening, then the justice system is failing. The justice system should have put them in jail and kept them in jail if they broke the law. Like, I don't understand why we have to sit here. Why do we have
dollars sitting in our cozy prisons? Are you joking?
So you don't want
I
taxpayer
don't want
dollars
taxpayers'
to arrest
dollars to
them.
go to people who shouldn't even be here to serve time for crimes that they commit against Americans, costing us more money here.
You
I'm just
contradict
saying,
yourself,
if
so
they
you
can
don't
be
want them in jail
deported,
if
if
they
they can
break
be
the law.
deported, I'm not contradicting
No.
myself at all. I've hardly spoken.
I gotta
So
say
what are
some
you
shit.
talking about?
Hold on, Enzo. What I think Alexis, well, I'm not even going to speak for Alexis. For me, go back home. You can go serve your time in a friggin' El Salvador prison or a Mexican prison or whatever. Is that what you say? Because that I don't think any illegal should be sitting in an American prison. Take your butt home.
Even
and
before
hopefully they'll serve their time there.
Let me say this. Before Donald Trump was in office, if somebody broke the law and they were undocumented, that person would be arrested. They would be convicted of a crime. If you're convicted of a crime, you have to serve that time here in America. It has never been this has never changed. Trump has not changed any laws when it comes to immigration. So
I understand that. Just like if I go to Jamaica and I break the law, I'm going to be in a Jamaican prison. I understand that.
Let me ask you this question. So what about what was the young lady's name? And I'm gonna start off saying this. My condolences, whoever family members they were. It's sad whenever you have a loss of life. But you're saying you don't want to house these folks when they're committing these crimes. But what about the dude that literally unalived Lincoln Riley that y'all were up in arms about? He's still here.
You wasn't up in
should be the
arms.
We're still
okay. So I'm sorry. So what is that?
They don't care.
You wasn't up in
Kelly,
arms.
they don't care.
Why didn't we? Why haven't you been sent home yet? And
Honestly, they should have been deported.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be completely honest with me being a black man in America. The last thing I'm thinking about is an immigrant. Again, loss of life. My condolences. But we know that 80% of the SA committed by YT males. We know this to be true statistically. I'm not worried about. Hold up.
So look at the population, right? There's more white men in America than there are immigrants.
White men make up 29% of the population.
Like your statistics are fucking ridiculous.
White men make
There's more white men in America than fucking everybody else.
I'm not worried about the immigrants.
29% of the
You obviously are worried about immigrants because you're fighting for them. So you are worried about them.
The folks that are dangerous, the folks that I'm worried about that are dangerous, their history shows it. The ones that were eating people.
So this is what I'm going to say, right? This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say this unapologetically. I'm going to say this unapologetically. Trump was right about everything. When he made that comment in 2017 and 2018, when they said they're not sending their best, he was fucking right. Look at the ones that are here. Look at the ones that perpetrated these fucking crimes. That's not their best. That's not who we want in this country. And I'm happy as shit to get them out of this country. And I turned DEI into deport every illegal. Hold on,
The
I'm
white
speaking,
folks
right?
have
Thank
never
you.
sent
So
their best people.
first off, I'm speaking, right? So again, all right, I turned DEI into to deport every illegal. Every person who's came to this country illegally, I don't give a fuck if it's a civil crime or not. Get them the fuck out of our country.
Look,
So let me just say, statistically
you know what I
speaking,
want, Enzo? I want us to be like Poland.
statistically
the border.
speaking, and this is where I talk about the humanity again. Statistically speaking, white men
The
commit
humanity.
77% of child
Again, there
crimes,
are
and they
more
only
white
make up.
men.
And they again, can you let me finish? Because
Who's
you said you
second?
got
I'm sorry.
interrupted.
Who's second?
You said
Skeptic, I'm
you
sorry.
got
With your
to
statistics,
interrupt me. I'm
nobody
gonna
gives a fuck
interrupt
about
you.
your
Yes,
statistics.
you should
No
care
one
about
cares.
statistics, right? You don't care
No
about
one cares about
statistics
your
because they don't work
statistics
for
because
you
you're going
either.
by
That's
capita,
why you
per
don't care
capita,
about
right?
them.
Per 100,000 people.
No,
Who
it's
gives a
not per
fuck?
capita. But
Who
I'm
gives a
telling you,
fuck?
Who's second?
white men only make up 29% of the
Okay.
population here in
White men,
America.
white men are first.
Right, and they
Who's
make up
second?
77% of the
Please.
So
convicted
let's
cases.
turn
Second
this
on
into
the
a
list,
race war. I'm the
Stephanie.
only white
If
person
white
here.
men
Let's
are
go.
number
Pile
one,
on.
No,
Come
who's
to
the
the race.
second
Let's go.
men?
I
And
got
do
to
the
back
race.
Show how about you
Enzo.
guys
It
are
Answer
says
it.
racist. Let's do
Hispanic
it.
second. They're not leaving that part.
Are
It's
second.
Hispanic second.
Second. Who's second? Please tell me who's second.
Hispanic.
Hispanics are
When we
second
talk,
for the
when you
for the
talking about
essays.
PDF files, when you talking about essays,
Yeah,
it's white and then it's Hispanic.
Hispanic.
I want to say white men are 77% and Hispanic men are like 30 something percent.
They
Let's
still
look it
number
up.
Don't
two.
say it if you don't know it.
That
Right.
doesn't
It's
make
still
math.
it's still
77 and
Oh,
illogical.
we
30%.
know it.
Still
That's
Me
math
and
ain't
illogical.
Kelly have
mathing.
looked it up.
And
Me
it
and
does
Kelly
make
have
a
talked about
difference.
this on another show.
Yeah, you're right. And it makes up a big difference because white men only make up 29% of the population. So that's a really large percentage.
White men only make up 29%.
Yes, white men
because you got women too. You got
white men only make up 29% of the population in the US. Yeah.
Well, again,
Are white people not the
Black
majority in the
America.
That gives us grounds to
Black
let
America.
everybody and
That's
anybody
still-
into America. That gives us
Black
rights.
America, the
Just
least of our
because
problems-
hold on, King J. I'm speaking, right? I'm speaking here. I'm gonna continue speaking, right? Thank you.
Continue to control.
I'm gonna keep speaking. Thank you. So again, because the men are again, I'm gonna keep speaking, King.
Hold on,
Thank
guys.
you.
Mute him, Nora.
So again, because white men are 29% of the population, that gives grounds to let in every illegal migrant who can perpetrate crimes. And we're going to discount all of these migrants that have fucking persecuted all these heinous crimes against American citizens because there's more violent crime from white men towards fucking illegal immigrants who shouldn't fucking be here in the first place.
Okay,
I don't care how this sounds. I don't care how I'm coming off.
Skeptic.
I'm
Let King
unapologetic
go
in
next.
everything I'm saying from now on.
Okay, can I make a
Yeah,
statement
wait.
without being interrupted?
Let Kim go next, please. Go ahead, King.
So I'm gonna say this. For me, as a black man, I do not care. You continue to try to point or paint these people as the boogeyman. But reality for me, as a black man in America, the biggest boogeyman that has ever been has been the YT folks, unaliving my people, raping my women for years, and y'all have not changed. Statistically, y'all have not changed. So you're telling me, and again, I say this, I do not condone any unalivement of anybody. It's a sad thing when anybody loses a life. But so far as the boogeyman, when we talking about Black America, it's not them. It's the white folks. It's the white folks.
When you get a chance, Nora, add my screen, please.
Okay, can I make one more statement?
Yes, go ahead.
So no one ever said the statement that Enzo made. Like, I've never made that statement. So this is what a lot of right-leaning people will do. They will conclude and make conclusions or redirect the things that you're saying to kind of make them very far-fetched. No one has said that. In no way,
Said
shape,
what?
or form have we said
Reframe what you're saying. No one said what.
we want undocumented immigrants to be here and to be hurting American citizens. No one in any point of this conversation has ever said that. So you're incorrect to try.
That's
and
not
put
what
that
I
on us.
said, though.
Again,
No. You're strong arming one piece of what I said.
Strong-arming what I'm saying. And
No. I'm not.
Enzo,
I said.
we know you ain't even gotta explain it, like, because we got
protest with the immigrants, cuz. We need to go downtown and protest with the essays.
Go down there and protest.
Yeah, you know, black and brown love. We are allies. blood. Let me think about that.
Like, man, LA, dog, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. LA's racist.
But at the time, Martinez in that recording also referred to the child as a monkey. The councilman in a statement called the comments vile and disgraceful and said that, quote, Martinez attacked her son with horrific racist slurs and talked about her desire to physically harm
Sign
him.
when we don't want to sign to no blacks.
Right.
Southsiders do want. Guess I don't even want to speak on that, but we don't want to sign to no blacks.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
the
saying?
Mexican gang, they already have their laws.
Yeah.
And you're gonna follow their laws.
Yeah.
Like, you can't sleep in the cell with a black guy.
Really?
No, it's against the law.
A Mexican gang member cannot have a black cellie.
No. He has to go to the hole.
So he has to basically fight that guy.
They sabotage black and white people on jobs, get black and white people fired on jobs, and then you will see their cousins, their uncles, their brothers, their sisters, and everybody on the job got fired because they didn't try to get you out of there, and their whole family is there. And don't let one of them get to become a supervisor.
You know what? I'm gonna just sit this one out. For real, folks? Are you sure? Yeah, I am sure.
So as a black man, you don't care, and that's your right, King. As a black woman, I care. I care about my sister, Ivy Smith. I care about my sister, Chanty Dixon. I care. You don't care. That's cool. I can't
Let me
worry about
ask you
these
this
white
question.
folks. They already here. I want these other jokers up out of
Who
here.
sterilized y'all? Who sterilized y'all? Let me ask you that question. Who sterilized
Who
y'all?
you talking to?
Who
You talking to me?
removed your hold up.
I know I'm very well versed of all the atrocities that have befallen my people, and I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna give you a little hint. I'm gonna give you a little hint, King.
Calm down.
I'm gonna give you a little hint, King. It's a lot of stuff that happened to us that was not the people. They are the people we not allowed to talk about on this channel, and I'll leave it at that. I'm very well versed. Can't worry about them. I can worry about these jokers that ain't supposed to be here, though. I can worry about them.
Exactly.
Can I finish my statement? Because I wasn't able to finish my statement earlier. So again, nobody is advocating for undocumented immigrants to hurt citizens. What we're saying is that there are also cases in which American citizens have literally shot undocumented immigrants. There are cases in
You
which
have said this, Skeptic. You said this, and I'm cutting you off on purpose. My point is, what I'm saying is, people want to act like Hispanics are not racist towards black people, and it's a lot of racism towards black people. They threw Molotov cocktails in black neighborhoods in LA. So King was talking about all the racism that white people do towards black. I had to showcase the racism the Hispanic community has put on blacks. But go ahead.
Also, can I just say, if you made it a point to land your plane more quickly, I think you'd be able to get like a thought across.
No, I don't interrupt other people, but they're always.
I'm just.
able
I'm
to
not
interrupt
trying.
me.
It's really. It's not trying to be rude. I'm being
haven't
genuine.
been able to finish one statement.
I
but
understand,
every
but
time
you
I
You
finish
said
several
this
times.
3 times, Skeptic,
It is what
saying
it
we're
is.
not advocating for violence against Americans. I understand that. You said it
Hold
already.
on, guys. We're gonna do our closing thoughts, and I'm gonna allow Skeptic to go first. So she's gonna have the floor, and she can speak, and we're not gonna interrupt. Here you go, Skeptic. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, stay human. Don't take your anger and don't let this propaganda make you hate a group of people, and try to not see them as a human being, because we're all human beings and we should all treat each other as human beings. Try and keep some love in your life. I talk about politics every day, and I told everyone this today. Go and hug someone that you love. Go spend some time with someone that you love. All of this politics, at the end of the day, they go to their houses and they don't think about us. So be sure to keep yourself human, keep yourself with your family, keep yourself, keep your mental health healthy, because politics is one thing, and I can put politics to the side and I can look at you as a person and I can view you as a human. I think that when we start when we start dehumanizing people, that is when we start losing as a whole. We're still a country. We are not united because of the things that are going on. But I do think at the end of the day, we have to be able to look at each other and be able to move forward. That's it.
I agree. Thank you, Skeptic, for coming. I know it was a hard night because we're talking about the immigration stuff, and that's something I know you're passionate about. So I appreciate you. Kamal, I'm gonna let you go next. What's your closing thoughts?
Look, man, my foundation of Black Americans, man. Look, do what I did this show. Stay the hell out of this shit. Get your popcorn, where the fuck you like snacking on. Enjoy the goddamn show. All right? Stay out of it. Let them fight their own battle, like Felix, whatever the hell his name is. That was the President Lulac in the 60s that told us, let the Negroes fight its own battles. Well, you're going to take a page out your book alongside with Bald and Nuri Martinez, or whatever the hell her name is, the rest of them racist motherfuckers. We sitting the hell out of this. All right? That's all I got to say.
Come on, with Slick, he barely talked.
What's up?
Oh man. All right, King. What's your closing thoughts, man?
I'm gonna say this. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not worried about immigrants. I do believe that there is a proper way to do things, yes. But the most diabolical, horrible person historically has been YT folks. They have not changed. They still are the same. You can't sit here and try to paint this picture that I should be worried about the damn migrants when I need to be worried about the people that have been killing and raping people over thousands of years. So that's the people I'm concerned with. That's
All right.
I'm done.
I got you. I'm sorry. I was having technical difficulties. Alexis, what's your closing thoughts there? Sorry you didn't get to really speak. We'll have a smaller panel
No,
next
that's okay.
time.
No, that's okay. No worries. So at the end of the day, I think that it's yes, people can come together. Yes, we are all still humans, right? But at the end of the day, we're talking about America and what America is supposed to stand for and American issues and things that are happening to Americans. Now, I'm not saying that that means that we are more important than any other person, okay? But the bottom line here is the fact that American funding is going to housing illegal migrants. American tax-paying dollars are going to SNAP for at least here in California. It is same thing with Medi-Cal. Like Medi-Cal is gotten so ridiculously high to the point where it's like Gavin Newsom's he's proposing putting a pause on it in 2026 because he let illegal migrants get Medi-Cal. And so I just think that it's really important that it's not about dehumanizing. We're not dehumanizing people. We're just simply trying to put the needs and priorities of American citizens first before we go and help anyone else. Put your own oxygen mask on before you help anyone else kind of thing, like when we're on airplanes. But that's it.
Yeah. Thank you, Alexis.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out.
All right.
Who the S Passe talking to?
Oh, stop Passe. Stop Passe.
Who's he talking to?
He's not talking to you.
Oh, okay. I dropped to the circle back. I thought he was talking to me.
No, he's not talking to you.
Sorry, player. I didn't know. I was like, damn, bro.
No, he's our FBA brother.
He got real defensive.
All right. I didn't know. Sorry, brother.
Yeah, he's talking to King. He was talking about King.
Okay.
Yeah. And thank you. I just want to say thank you, New Party. Thank you, Nora, for having me on. Everybody, Skeptic, I love you, girl. It's not personal. I'm just passionate about this illegal immigrant stuff. So you got no quarrel with me, okay?
Same with you.
Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, my closing thoughts are I have a different approach than my FBA brother Kamal. I'm like chat. I'm like mulatto. Call ICE. Call ICE. We are in this country together. We all have to do our part. So look that number up. If you. Y'all know the number. Look it up. Call.
I got it.
We got to be
I'll put it on the screen.
Here. And you have it on the screen. Oh no,
I'm gonna get it. Just keep going. I'm gonna pull it up when you're done.
Yeah. We're all in this country together. We all should be law-abiding citizens. And if you are a religious person, we got to pray. We got to stay prayed up. Pray for the country, for the nation. We are going through some really, troubling times right now. And, that's really it. I'm glad, thank you for having me on. And, like I said, Don't Piss Me Off morning show, Monday through Thursday, 11 Central Standard Time. You can just put in the @ DPMO morning show. It'll come up. Hit the notification bell. And again, it's a lighthearted show, not your grandmother's morning show. The fellas curse, but we don't get too heavy with the political stuff there. We have a good time.
Why King leave? Damn, he gonna stay for the whole shit.
They have lives, so they host lives like all night long. He normally is the co-host for night lives. I can't do.
Okay.
I can't do too much.
No, you can't. You got your baby. But
Yeah.
and and Skeptic, you know when there don't be so many people, I let you finish. But it's a whole bunch of us tonight, okay? And it was getting a little hot. So
Me and Enzo went at it earlier, so we had to finish our
Yeah.
earlier discussion.
Yeah, they needed to calm down. And no offense, King brings it to another level, Skeptic. You know we don't usually get this hot. Enzo, what's your closing thoughts? Did you go yet? I don't remember. Did you go
No,
yet?
I didn't go yet.
Good
So
night.
my closing
Her thing.
thoughts.
Sorry, Enzo.
You're good. You're good. My closing thoughts is this was a great episode. Kelly, thank you for coming. Kamal, always a pleasure having you here, Mr. Vegan Weed. Always laugh when I hear that on the intro. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it unapologetically. Trump was right about everything. They're not sending their best. These are not the people that we want in America. You want to come to America? Come the legal way. Come the way that my ancestors came here. 1893 and 1923, respectively. My family came through Ellis Island. They did it the correct way. Even though around that time, immigration was a lot easier, time to get through and become a citizen was a lot easier, doesn't make it right. Just because the system is flawed doesn't mean you can go across the border illegally and come here illegally. I will never stand for that. I'm all for immigrants all day long. You guys can paint me however you want to paint me. Say I'm racist, say I'm this, say I'm that. I'm a typical white man, whatever it is. I stand for everybody at the end of the day. I stand for all races at the end of the day. And like I keep saying with DEI, deport every illegal. And that's what I'm going to land it at.
Oh, I love that.
So let me say this. I don't like the racist talk. And I don't like the fact that everyone's saying that white tea people are the most racist, this, that, and the third. I struggle with that. And I'm going to tell you, Enzo has a very pure heart. Enzo's not a racist. And we need to stop using that word because it gets to become desensitizing. I'm sorry. Not everything is racism. Not every white person, especially white males, is racist. We got to get off of that. Also, just because we're deporting people does not make it racist. You entered this country illegally and you're here illegally. That's the first thing you do is you break the law. I'm sorry. This is part of it. I don't care what race you are. I love everyone. I love all races. And it breaks my heart to hear when people say it's all white people, it's all this, it's all that, when I'm sure we can all think about at least one person that has helped us in our lives. So I don't like that. I think that's racist talk. I don't support that. I don't condone that. And here at the New Party, we support all views and all races. And so I'm just going to end on this. Peace, love, and light. God bless. Have a good night. And I pray for America and the safety of our nation around the world and what's going on in the Middle East. God